So I was looking at some things this morning, and it turns out that ever since Portugal started promoting exemptions and opening certain doors for people that are well off with money to invest in property and such, about 8 years ago, ever since then, and the RAM magazines, coincidentally or not coincidentally, started pumping the place too at the same time. There's twice as many foreigners, word has it, and this is in the hundreds of thousands, not like 5,000. So there's 200,000 more foreigners, which is double what there was before since the program and the RAM pumping. In case anybody was wondering, how could a few foreigners make any difference? So we're gonna do the adventurous thing here. We're gonna, instead of taking the bus, we're gonna walk to the beach. It might sound really elementary, but it's kind of a hike up and down a hill. We're only gonna do the downside of it today. So we found a different trail. I don't know if you haven't seen the video where I was going down this, or actually I was going back up. I went down and back up, and it's a really steep, rocky, medium difficulty trail. But I don't know what I got myself into here, but likely this is the way. At least it is paved. Well, we found a little bit easier trail. It's still steep and all, but it's more of a pathway than it is one of those really hard hiking trails. By the way, the financial requirements are in the hundreds of thousands of euros. So I imagine out of you know, global population, there's always going to be a stream of people within that category that are going to take advantage of it. So, but that begs the question, right? That if you're somebody wanting to retire earlier or better, that is wondering, you know, you're at a crossroads and you're just feeling like, look, I've been working for all these years and I really don't want to wait till my Social Security date, you know, or my pension date or whatever it is in your country, and you know, got a little bit of resources, but definitely not in that category. You know, what is a person to do? The Rams, obviously, they love it because of the property bubbles that it creates. We talk a lot about. And so what's a person to do? Well, one thing they can do is they can subscribe to the channel and come into our group. So we'll see how nice the weather here pans out all the way as we go through fall.
Well, it's September, mid-September.
It's September.
It's 80s, mid.
And we're walking to the beach. And yes, I'm going swimming.
We're going to walk all the way down there.
So the story has it that since Portugal has been opened up its doors to these kinds of exemptions, not only has the foreign population doubled from 200,000 to over 400,000 in a period of about 7.5 years, the property prices in the capital have appreciated. I think the figures are around 25% over an almost 8-year period. Now, what is that, about 3% per year? So, you know, I mean, you can compare that to other areas, other places where you can put your money, and you know, the stock market or property in your own hometown, that kind of thing, especially in the States or Canada. The returns are, of course, that's appreciation. It could be, some of these people could be making money off of tourist rentals, but 3% a year, yeah, those are the figures.
Seem like very much.
No, but I don't know, you know, who did the recognizance on the figuring, because it depends on where they start. A lot of this figuring starts at already foreigner paid prices in the market, and they use that as their benchmark starting point. Of course, we know better than that. What's really happening is that behind the scenes, the RAM groups and the RAMs themselves are already in real estate at prior to foreigner price. You know, they always do that before the the news breaks out. So because they themselves are the ones that put out the news to all their RAM partners and all the news outlets that they work with, all the business magazines and everything else. So clearly they have insider knowledge of what's happening, and they're able to take advantage of that insider knowledge at the expense of the locals and the rest of the public. But you know, the public doesn't have to buy real estate there or anywhere that RAM pumped. Some of the best returns, the US has really good returns for those that know how to make money in real estate, and I imagine Canada may have the same thing. You're welcome to mention in the comments. And it occurs to me that anybody coming in at this point is clearly, you know, if the appreciation has only been 3% per year and it's over an 8-year period, you're coming into it at this time at frothy bubble, kind of frothy area, because it's been going on already for, you know, a number of years. And considering that the number isn't really all that high, considering though that the inflation rate for appreciation in the States has been around 2 or 3% over the same period. But you know, most real estate investors, which the RAMs are, you know, appreciation is just the icing on the cake. So anyhow, that's the story. Considering though that
these are raspberries.
Oh, wow. Okay. They're not lookalikes that are poisonous, right? Don't eat too many, hon. Just eat half, just in case. So, you know, continuing with the conversation with the 3% average appreciation and this is in the capital. This is part of the picture. People talk about globalization, and the players in it are the ones that are profiting from it, and the locals, of course, get the short end of the stick unless they drop everything and become property speculators. By golly, Angie, I think we've got it this time. Careful. Whoa, careful. Downhill doesn't mean 100% nothing's going to happen. It's just so dry that it's, what do you call that in Italian? It's sdrucciolevole. Slippery. That doesn't quite tell the story though. Just think, the nifty thing about this is that we didn't have to rely on any kind of RAM input to do this trail thing. Buses and everything. Isn't that cool? And the pluses of that is that we avoid crowds. That's the point of that. So yeah, this no crowd thing it's been a thing for us for years. It's amazing. Look at that, we made it. What a beautiful day. September. I am so thankful I'm here. And I'm so thankful that I'm able to walk down the hill and do this. Should I say it, honey? Should I say it?
Living your best life now?
You've got to be thankful for all of that and grateful, you know, so.
You mean all those green drinks we were drinking in the United States before we went abroad?
Yeah, there is a cause and effect. Yeah, there is a cause and effect between your behavior and the results you achieve in life. Just so you've got a in-depth visual of what this was about. We just came down this whole hill. Alright, so it's a Saturday. We just made it to the sand. So I see a lot of these channels. They've all got these T-shirts for sale. We could do a T-shirt called "We Survived the Ram Magazine, Best Place to Retire Abroad." Yeah, we survived it, and we literally did. You recall all the gringos that were leaving while we were still there, so